Hi guys, welcome back to Waxing On, and it's Monday, and that means it's jazz. And today we're going to look at one of the proponents of jump and jive style music. I call it jump and jive, they called it jump music, and we're talking about Louis Jordan. Now, the CD I'm going to feature today is kind of a greatest hits album, and a lot of times when I didn't have a lot of money or I was just exploring new musicians, I would often buy a greatest hits album, hoping I was going to get the best of what they had to offer. Because sometimes back in those days, and this is the early 60s, late 50s, you would get albums that had a couple of hits and then a lot of filler. So the greatest hits were kind of like the best that they had to offer. Now, Louis Jordan is, I guess, one of the favorites of our big band as well. We like to play his music. Actually, the two Louis are favorites of ours, Louis Prima and Louis Jordan. But this one is one that not only do I like to play his music, I think the members of the band enjoy it as well. And the album I have today is called Louis Jordan, and I don't know if you see the bottom of the yellow, it's called Rock and Roll. Basically, it's just a greatest hits type album. Now, some great players on here. This isn't a really big band. He's got more of a smaller combo-sized band with him. Louis Jordan on vocals and alto sax, of course. Ernie Royal on trumpet. We got Jimmy Cleveland, trombone, Bud Johnson, tenor sax and baritone sax. Sam the Man Taylor on tenor sax, Ernie Hayes piano. Wendell Marshall on bass, Charlie Persip on drums, and arranger and conductor Quincy Jones for all the tunes. And this is early Quincy Jones we're looking at. I know he worked with Ray Charles for a while, and he hadn't really got into, I guess, the music he was doing later. So right here, we've got early Quincy Jones conducting and arranging all the tunes. So, I mean, that in itself is kind of special. Just to give you some idea of what the songs are, and again, some of these are classics. They've been recorded by a lot of different people. Over the next week or two, we're going to look at a band out of Toronto, Shocks Johnson and his Jive Bombers, that did a lot of Louis Jordan inspired and Louis Jordan music. Joe Jackson, the musician that started out as new wave, and he has certainly branched into a lot of things, had an album called Jump and Jive, where it paid tribute to a lot of the music of Louis Jordan. So he's had quite an effect on people. And again, this one called Rock and Roll, you almost think it's like a predecessor of rock music that was coming along at that time. Okay, just to give you some idea, recorded in 1956, and we're looking at Ain't Nobody Here But Us Chickens, Choo Choo Chiboogie, and that's one of the ones that's a big hit with members of my band. Knock Me a Kiss, Caledonia, most people know that. Let the Good Times Roll, Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby, Brother Beware Brother. And I mean, a lot of these titles are very familiar. I mean, they've become standards in the music industry, and like I say, most of those I'm sure you're going to recognize the titles of. Cat Scratching, Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying, sorry, Early in the Morning, Saturday Night Fish Fry, one that Jordan also co-wrote, Got My Mojo Working. I mean, a lot of fun stuff. He was serious about his music, but he did it in a fun way. And certainly it's a lot like what we looked at last week with Rockabilly and Brian Setzer. It's like the music we had with Scroll Nut Zippers and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. If you're looking for something fun to listen to and some entertaining, great music, and they do it in a fun way, they don't take themselves too seriously, but some great hits, check out Louis Jordan. There's probably a lot more hits I could pull out. This is just what's on the CD I had, but certainly Louis Jordan on the streaming networks, hard copies available from different music sellers online. It's well worth taking a few minutes and find out where some of this great music has gotten to. Anyways, that's it for Monday. Recommendation today, Louis Jordan. And we'll see you on Wednesday when we'll be looking at classic rock. Talk to you then.